Well, Onam is an annual holiday and Hindu festival celebrated in Kerala, India. It is a harvest festival celebrated by Malayalam irrespective of religion. Date of Onam is based on the Hindu Panchangam and falls on the 22nd nakshatra Tiruvonam in the month Chingam of Malayalam calendar, which is a Gregorian calendar, overlaps with August to September. According to legends, the festival is celebrated to commemorate King Mahabali, whose spirit is said to visit Kerala at the time of Onam. Well, with you, me, Geetika and
Pushpa.
Well, Kerala celebrated low-key Onam on Monday amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Big celebrations were missing this year as the people largely celebrated Tiruvonam indoors to commemorate the visit of the righteous King Mahabali to the lands and people he previously ruled.
Adhering to COVID-19 protocols, households were adorned with extremely beautiful floral carpets and splendid fests were prepared on Tiruvonam day to day. However, display of traditional art forms and games was not organized in villages and towns in the state.
Meanwhile, the Atham festival, which heralds the start of the 10-day Onam festivities, was also held in the shadow of the COVID-19 pandemic.
President Ramnath Kovind, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu, Kerala Governor Mohammad Khan and Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan were among those who extended the greetings for the harvest festival of Onam.
Onam is a major annual event for Malayali people in and outside Kerala. It is a harvest festival, one of three major Hindu celebrations along with the Vishnu and Thiruvaitira, and it is observed with numerous festivities. Onam celebrations include Vallam Kali, Puli Kali, Pokalam, Onam Tappan, Onam Kali.
Tug of war, Tumbi Tulal, Kumatakali, Ona Tallu, Ona Villu, Kazakula, Onapottan, Atamachian and other celebrations. It is the New Year day for Malayalis.
is the official state festival of Kerala with public holidays that starts 4 days from Uttaradom. Major festivities take place across 30 venues in Thiruvananthapuram, capital of Kerala. It is also celebrated by Malayali diaspora around the world. Though a Hindu festival, non-Hindu communities of Kerala also participate in Onam celebrations, considering it as a cultural festival.
Onam is an ancient Hindu festival of Kerala that celebrates rice harvest. The significance of the festival is in Hindu legends, of which two are more common. According to the Hindu mythology, Mahabali was the great-great-grandson of Brahmin sage named Kashyapa, the great-grandson of a demonic dictator Hiranyakashipu, and the grandson of Vishnu devotee Prahlada.
While this links the festival to the Puranic mythology of Prahlada of Holika fame in Hinduism, who was the son of Hiranyakashipu, Prahlada, despite being born to a demonic Asura father who hated Vishnu, rebelled against his father, persecution of people, and worshipped Vishnu. Hiranyakashipu tries to kill his son Prahlada but is slain by Vishnu in his Narsimha avatar. Prahlada is saved.
The dwarf Vamana taking a leap step is a part of many Hindu temple arts and one legend behind Onam. Prahlada's grandson Mahabali came to power by defeating the gods and taking over the three worlds. According to Vaishnavism mythology, the defeated Devas approached Vishnu for help in their battle with Mahabali.
Vishnu refused to join the gods in violence against Mahabali because Mahabali was a good ruler and his own devotee. Mahabali, after his victory over the gods, declared that he would perform a yajna.
king offered anything to the boy: gold, cows, elephants, villages, food, whatever he wished. The boy said that one must not seek more than one needs, and all he needed was 3 paces of land. Mahabali agreed.
Vamana grew to an enormous size and covered everything. Mahabali rolled over in just 2 paces. For the third pace, Mahabali offered his head for Vishnu to step on act that Vishnu accepted as evidence of Mahabali's devotion. Vishnu granted him a boon by which Mahabali could visit again once every year the lands and people he previously ruled. This revisit marks the festival of Onam as a reminder of the victor's rule and his humility in keeping his promise before Vishnu. The last day of Mahabali's stay is remembered with a 9-course vegetarian on a sadhya feast.
Though the Vamana temple is accepted as the main temple at the elite level, the local people consider the Shiva temple more important one. They believe that Shiva was the Kuladaivam of Mahabali and that there was no Vamana temple at that time. The palace of Mahabali was situated at the place where the Vamana temple is at present. After the fall of Mahabali, his palace was destroyed and later on Vamana was installed on that spot by the saint Kapila.
According to Nandita Krishna, a simpler form of this legend, one without Mahabali, is found in the Rig Veda and the Vedic text Shatabda Brahmana, where a solar deity is described with powers of Vishnu. This story likely grew over time and is in part allegorical, which Bali is a metaphor for thanksgiving offering after a bounty of rice harvest during monsoon, and Vishnu is the metaphor of the Kerala sun and summer that precedes the Onam.
According to Roshan Dalal, the story of Mahabali is important to Onam in Kerala, but similar Mahabali legends are significant in the region of Balia and Bhawan in Uttar Pradesh, Bharuch in Gujarat and Mahabaleshwar in Maharashtra. The story is significant not because Mahabali's rule ended, but it emphasizes the Hindu belief in cyclical nature of events, that no individual, no ruler and nothing lasts forever, except the virtues and self-understanding that overcomes all sorrow.
An alternate legend behind Onam relates to Parshurama, an incarnation of Vishnu who is credited in Hindu mythology to have created the Western Ghats from the southern tip of Kerala, Karnataka, Goa and up to Maharashtra. According to this legend, Vishnu got upset with the kings and the warriors caste who were constantly at war and were arrogant over others.
Well, Vishnu took the avatar of Parashurama or Rama with an axe and also known as Rama Jamadagnya in the era of King Kartavarya. The king persecuted and oppressed the people, the sages and the gods. One day the king came to the heritage of Parashurama and his mother Renuka, where while Parashurama was away, the king without permission took away the calf of their cow. When Parashurama returned, he felt the injustice of the king, called him to war and killed the king and all his oppressive warriors.
At the end, he threw the axe and wherever it fell, the sea retreated, creating the land of Kerala and other coastal western parts of Indian subcontinent. And the version states that Parashurama brought Nambudiri Brahmins to southwestern parts of India by creating a mini Himalaya-like mountain range with his axe. The Onam festival, according to this legend, celebrates Parashurama's creation of Kerala by marking those days as this new year.
Well, Onam is a popular major Hindu festival in Kerala, states Christine Frost, but one that is also celebrated by Orthodox Christians with much zest alongside Hindus. The festival is celebrated in Kerala churches by Christians with local rituals according to Sylvester Ponumuttan.
Well, these traditions, according to Sylvester Ponumuttan, start with the lighting of Neela Vilakku, an aarti that includes waving of flowers over the Bible, eating the Onam meal together with the Hindus as a form of communication of brothers and sisters of different faiths. The significance of these practices are viewed by some Kerala Christians as a form of integration with Hindus, mutual respect and sharing a tradition.
Well, Paulinus of St. Bartholomew in his A Voyage to the East Indies describes Onam as the fourth grand festival celebrated in Malayala is called Onam and happens always in the month of September on the day of new moon. About the 10th of September, the rain ceases in Malabar. All nature seems as if regenerated. The flowers again shoot up and the tree bloom. In a word, this season is the same as that which Europeans call spring.
Meanwhile, this festival seems therefore to have been instituted for the purpose of soliciting from the gods a happy and fruitful year. It continues 8 days, and during that time the Indians are accustomed to adorn their houses with flowers and daub them over with cow's dung. Because the cow, as already observed, is a sacred animal dedicated to the goddess Lakshmi, the Ceres of the Indians. On this occasion, they also put on new clothes, throw aside all their old earthenware, and supply its place by new.
Well, the men, particularly those who are young, form themselves into two parties and shoot at each other with arrows. These arrows are blunted but exceedingly strong and are discharged with such force that a considerable number are generally wounded on both sides. These games have a great likeness to the Cyrilli and Juvenalia of the ancient Greeks and Romans. Most Muslims join the festivities in Kerala and celebrate Hindu festivals such as Onam.
While Muslims or reformists have called on other Muslims to refrain from taking part in the festival. For example, Kerala-based Salafi preacher has called Onam as haram. In 2019, another Muslim religious speaker caused controversy over his statement that Muslims should not celebrate the festivals of other religions like Onam.
Well, some Muslim Indian politicians like traditional Vilakku, while others have refused to light these lamps at Onam events, declaring it to be a Hindu tradition and against the teachings of Islam. Muslims, daily newspapers and other publications have condemned Muslim ministers who participate in Onam traditions. However, some Muslims observe Onam anyway, considering its celebrations and rituals are a cultural practice.
According to Riti A. Lucosa, Onam is generally considered as a Hindu festival, one that is culturally inclusive within the secular lexicon of Hinduism. In recent years, however, it has undertaken a political turn. In one case, students group affiliated with Hindu nationalism in Kerala objected when a Muslim played the role of Mahabali.
While the student group did not attack the Muslim, they targeted and protested against the local organizer when alternative Hindus are available to play that role. According to Lucas, this incident shows how the cultural figure of King Mahabali understood as Hindu, tolerant and inclusive into an exclusively Hindu one.
Onam falls in the month of Chingam, which is the first month according to the Malayalam calendar. Celebrations mark the Malayalam New Year are spread over 10 days and conclude with Tiruvonam. The 10 days are sequentially known as Adam, Chidira, Chodi, Vijakam, Anisam, Triketa, Moolam, Puradam, Uttaradam and Tiruvonam. The first and the last day are particularly important in Kerala and to Malayali communities elsewhere.
Well, the Adam day is marked with the start of festivities in Vamanamurthy Tirikkara temple. The Vishnu temple is considered as the focal center of Onam and the abode of Mahabali with the raising of the festival flag. Parades are held which are colorful and depict the elements of Kerala culture with floats and tablets.
Other days have a diverse range of celebrations and activities ranging from boat races, cultural programs, sports competitions, dance events, martial arts, floral, rangoli, Pukalam, prayers, shopping, donating time or food for charity to spending time with family over feast. Men and women wearing traditional dress, the Kerala sari or Kasuvu sari is particularly worn on this day.
Well, the Onam celebrations across the state starts off with a grand procession at the Tirupunithira near Kochi called Achamayam, also referred as the Tirupunithira Achamayam. The parade features elephants marching, drum beats and other music, folk art forms, floats and colorfully dressed people with masks.
Well, in Kerala's history, the Kochi king used to head a grand military procession in full ceremonial robes from his place to Tirikkara temple, meeting and greeting his people in contemporary times. This is a state-supported event. The parade floats traditionally feature scenes from epics such as the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. Additionally, some floats include themes from the Bible as well as current themes, thereby highlighting unity and harmony.
Well, the procession path historically has been from Tirupunithura to the Vamanamurthy temple in Tirukkara. Ernakulam district, the temple is dedicated to Vishnu in his Vamana avatar. After arrival at the temple, the marchers offer a prayer. The floral carpet, known as Onapukkalam or just Pukkalam, is made out of the gathered blossoms with several varieties of flowers of differing tints pinched up into little pieces to design and decorate patterns on the floor, particularly at entrances and temple premises like a flower mat. Lamps are arranged in the middle or edges.
It is a work of religious art, typically the team initiative of girls and women who accomplish it with a delicate touch and a personal artistic sense of tone and blending. When completed, a miniature pandal hung with little festoons is erected over it. The pokalam is similar to rangoli, which is made of powders of various colors and is popular in North India.
Well, the traditional ritual of laying Pookalam starts on Adam day. The Pookalam on this day is called Atapu and is relatively small in size. The size of the Pookalam grow in size progressively with each day of the Onam festival. Only yellow flowers will be used on Atam with only one circular layer made, and the design is kept simple. Statues or figurines of Mahabali and Vamana are also installed at the entrance of each house on this day.
Traditionally, Attapukalams included flowers endemic to Kerala and the Dasha Pushpam, but nowadays all varieties of flowers are used. Earthen mounds which look somewhat like square pyramids representing Mahabali and Vamana are placed in the dung plastered courtyards in front of the house along with Pokalam and beautifully decorated with flowers all over Kerala. Pokalam competitions are a common sight on Onam Day.
Well, traditional dance forms including Tiruvatira, Kummattikali, Pulikali, Tumbitulal, Onam Kali and others. Tiruvatira Kali is a woman's dance performed in a circle around a lamp. Kummattikali is a colorful mask dance. In Thrissur, festivities include procession consisting of caparisoned elephants surrounded by Kummattikal dancers.
Meanwhile, the masked dancers go from house to house performing the colorful Kummattikali. Onam Kali is a form of dance where players arrange themselves in circles around a pole or tree or lamp. The dance and sing songs derived from the Ramayana and other epics. Kathakali dance is also commonly performed during this time, with dancers enacting famous mythological legends. A famous venue for this is at Valluvanad, which is associated with the growth of Kathakali, and Cheruturthi, where Kerala Kalamandam is located. Pulikali, also known as Kaduakali, is a common sight during the Onam season.
This dance showcases performers painted like tigers in bright yellow, red and black, who dance to the beats of instruments like chenda and thakil. This folk art is mainly performed in the cultural district of Thrissur, and thousands pour into the city to be a part of this art.
While performances of the ritual worship dance Theyyam are given during the Onam season, in this Mahabali is played by Onathar. Well, those were the updates of Onam festival today in the lead story. Keep watching CVR English News channel. This is Geetika and
Pushpa
signing off.